only mode.
Welkom allemaal bij dit webinar. Ik hoop dat jullie me allemaal kunnen horen. Jullie kunnen zelf niet praten, maar je kunt wel je vragen kwijt bij het questions aan de rechterkant. Ik wil jullie eigenlijk vragen of jullie me allemaal goed kunnen horen en of jullie dat begrijpen, dat je dus je vragen daar kwijt kunt. En je kunt dat doen door je hand op te steken. De raise your hand kun je opdrukken. Zou je dat willen proberen? Ja, ik zie al heel wat handen omhoog gaan. Dus ik ga ervan uit dat ik goed verstaanbaar ben. Nou, welkom nogmaals een keer bij het webinar over Revit Content Management en toegankelijkheid. Ik zal dit webinar samengeven met Renata. Zij is van AGA en ik zal straks even iets meer daarover vertellen. We zullen eerst even een korte presentatie volgen van eigenlijk een klein beetje over Itanex en over AGA. En dan zullen we wat meer in de techniek gaan en naar Revit gaan kijken. Nou goed, allereerst even iets kort over Itanex. Itanex is een multidisciplinair adviserend orgaan zeg maar, op het gebied van BIM en 3D. We doen dat van ontwerp tot aan realisatie en beheer. Dus eigenlijk van begin tot eind proberen we zoveel mogelijk jullie te helpen om een goed gebouw te kunnen opzetten. En ook dat gebouw eigenlijk te gaan beheren. We zitten gevestigd door heel Nederland en we bevinden ons dus dicht bij jullie hopelijk ook. We bestaan al sinds 1996 en we hebben in die tijd al meer dan 6000 CAD-werkplekken in Nederland geïmplementeerd. En dat begon natuurlijk vroeger met echt het AutoCAD en nu natuurlijk met Revit en de mooie plaatjes en filmpjes en zelfs met 3D-visualisaties door gebouwen heen. We doen dat met 40 medewerkers die allemaal eigenlijk deskundig zijn. We hebben allemaal verstand van het product, van de processen die bij jullie spelen en van ook de materie die bij jullie speelt. We zijn een Autodesk partner en dat betekent dat wij Autodesk software mogen leveren. En we doen dat erg goed. We zitten in de top 20 van Europa. En we doen niet alleen Revit, maar dus ook nog heel veel dingen meer. Onder andere Smart Revit, waarvan een aantal van jullie dat al hebben, nog een aantal ook niet. En we doen dat zeg maar, met nog meer software van Autodesk. AGA is een ontwikkelaar van Revit add-ons. En wij hebben een samenwerking met AGA als Itanex zijnde. En zij hebben al meer dan 5000 licenties in meer dan 45 landen. Ook zij bestaan al sinds 1991 en hebben 20 medewerkers. En hun doel is vooral om verspilling eigenlijk weg te nemen. Nou, zoals ik net al aangaf, hebben we natuurlijk Smart Revit. En daar zitten een heel aantal tools in. Maar er zijn dus nog veel meer tools. En deze tools komen nu niet allemaal aan bod. Maar toch wil ik Renata zo even het woord geven. Zodat zij dat wat verder kan toelichten. En daarna gaan we ons focussen op Smart Browser. En daarvan zit dus al een gedeelte in Smart Revit. Maar een gedeelte ook nog niet. Nou, ik ga nu het woord geven aan Renata. En mochten jullie dus vragen hebben, dan stel ze gerust in de questions box. Renata, I will give the word to you.
Thank you, Simona. I will change the screen to my screen. Okay, what it is now, can you see my screen? Okay, so today we will talk about Revit Content Management Solutions. And first, before starting with that, I would like to say a few words about all the products that we can provide. Here in the top of the dialog, you can find MEP Engineering Pro. So this is one group of tools that we provide for our clients, especially for MEP users. One tool with the name Smart Sprinklers. That solution goes for engineers and that work with fire protection systems. Then we have one additional product, Smart Diffusers, for working with diffusers and ear terminals for adding engineering data into the families. Then we have our heating. It goes for working with radiators. And then we have smart hangers that is already released to the market. It can automatically distribute hangers according to your ducts, pipes, cable traces, and conduits. Then we have Cut Opening Pro. Cut Opening Pro can make openings around the ducts, pipes, cable traces, and conduits in walls, floors, ceilings, columns, and beams. Then we have Beam Tree Manager. It's a very powerful solution for making parameters and for managing parameters and parameter values that are used in the current project. Actually, Beam Tree Manager is included in Smart Revit. Then we have another group, Sustainable Design Pro. Here we have 3 solutions for energy calculation. One more group is with the name Wood Framing Pro. Here we have 4 products for the wood frames. One is Rafter Plus. It automatically can generate rafters according to your roof. The same with the trusses. It can generate trusses, and very powerful actually solution for making trusses automatically according to your roof system. And Wall Plus, it can frame your walls according to configuration. So you can frame your walls and windows and doors, and even it can make workshop drawings for you. Actually, at the moment, we do work on a new solution that will be named as Smart Assembly, and this tool will be able to make workshop drawings for different walls, beams and columns, so it will be a very powerful solution for workshop drawings. And today we will talk about Revit Content Management. Here we have 3 products. One is a Smart Browser that is free of charge, and actually that Smart Browser is included into Smart Revit. Just Smart Revit, additionally, it has additional functionalities that are included in Smart Revit together with the Smart Browser. Then we have Smart Browser Simple, Smart Browser Power, and Smart Browser Pro. Today I will try to explain the differences between those browsers and what kind of features and what kind of benefits you can get with Smart Browser Pro. So first, if we look into the free version and Power and the Simple versions, they are actually all of them. All those 3 products, they allows designers to quickly and easily browse and find Revit families from the library. So it's very easy to take families from the library, get information about the families, about parameters, parameter values, and put that family into the project. So as you see from the dialogues, the free and the Power and Simple, they're very similar, just the Power and the Simple, they have additional possibility check and update families from library. So it finds the differences between families in the library and families in the project. Later I will show you how it works. So the free version usually goes for standalone users and for private users. The Power and the Simple users, simple versions, actually it goes for the companies, and here we have network licenses, so you can install network installations and you can use network licenses. Now with the Pro version, you can do all the same things like with the regular Smart Browser, just with the Pro version you can manage your families. So you can search and you can manage your families at the same time. So you can add additional parameters, you can change the values, you can change the types, you can add formulas, you can delete the families from the library. So with this product you can very easily find the families in the library and you can manage them. Now I'm coming into my Revit. So usually when you start working with Revit and when you need to insert additional families into your project, you have to go to Insert, Load Family, and here you have to select the library you want to analyze. Usually in this dialog, all the families are grouped together according to the catalogs, and you just need to go through the catalogs and find the families. Sometimes it's very difficult to get the information from the family. I mean, you can see here only the name of the family and the picture, and that's it. You can't know all information about the family, about the parameters that are used in the family, about parameter values, about the formulas, about the host of the family. So instead of that, we suggest to have smart family browser where you can go through the library. Then you can find the elements, and at the same time you can check the family types that are created in the family. You can check the parameters and the groups and parameter values. If there are formula assigned to the family, also you can see that here, the same as parameter types and the units. Also, if you see that the cells are displayed as the gray color, then you can know that this value is type value. If it's white, so then you can know that this is instance value, and you will need to change that for every instance that is used in the project. So now let's start from the beginning, and I will show how to prepare such family. So Smart Browser Pro you can find in the separate tab, and first we have to go into the browser options. Here you have to say where your library is located. In my catalog here I have just about 17 families, 16 families, and let's try to prepare those families and to use them with the Smart Browser. So here you have to select where your library is located. Okay, then actually the main button is Start, and after pressing Start button, the tool will open every family, and the tool will read all information about the families. So that information will be stored in the XML file, and right now I will copy the path to that XML file. The tool will create that XML file, and that file will have all information about your families, about parameters, parameter values, and so on. Additionally, the tool will create additional PNG and DWF files. So also here you have to say where those files, additional files, will be stored. Actually, it can be on the same place where you can create additional catalog if it's needed. I mean, you can manage those files wherever you want. I mean, you can put together with a library, you can save that somewhere in the common location. And that's it. After pressing Start, you just have to add the company name, the person name who is trying to create that XML file. And after pressing OK, the tool will read all that information about the families. That process can take some time because the tool opens every family and it reads all information. But this process has to be done just one time for one user from the company. So you can leave that process for night, or you can just leave that for the weekend. And that process should be prepared just one time. And just one user from the company has to do that process. All other users can use the same XML file. So that XML file can be shared and can be stored in the common location. That's it. When we are done, we can go to Smart Family Browser and we can see the content. That's it. We have all those families prepared in the Smart Family Browser, and as you see it here, we can get really nice views and the parameters and parameter values. Actually, if you will add additional families to the library, the tool will let you know, and the tool will give you a message. So you will need to press synchronize, and the tool will synchronize the data for you. So that process will not take a long time. I mean, that process will be quite fast because the tool will look into the families that were added or that were modified. Now let's look into the left side of the tree. Here you can see the catalog system as you see it usually with Revit families, but at the same time you can change that setting. You can say that you would like to see the category and the host type, or the version, for example, or the unit system. So you can group your families according to different scenarios. And right now the tool will group our families according to the real category and then the host of the family. So now you can check and you can see what are the hosts of those families. And when you decide that this is the right family and you really want to have that family in your project, you just need to, with drag and drop, you can just load the family into the project and the family will be automatically selected, and you can put the family into the place you want. What is good here that Smart Family Browser works like external application, so you don't need to close the dialog. You can come into the project, you can work with the project, and then you can continue working with the Smart Family Browser. Now you can have several libraries. Like you see in my case, you can have several directions into different libraries. If you have really huge library, you can split that into separate XML files, or one XML file can have several libraries, several directions into different libraries. Let's look into Revit library. It has about more than 2,000 different families. Okay, so it's 2,600 families. Again, you can go through them here. At the same time, you can see that the tree was automatically changed, and now you can really look and filter just the elements you want. For example, like here we can get lighting fixtures. So here we can see 49 lighting fixtures. But at the same time, you can filter the ceiling-based or face-based or point-based or wall-based families. Because as you see it here from the picture, you will never understand that this is really wall-based family, or for example this one or this one. So with this tool, it will be very easy to know what is the host of the family. At the same time, you can make additional search. You can search your families according to family name, family type, parameter name, or even parameter value. So we can make a search according to parameter name that contains material, and parameter value that, for example, begins with metal. And we can make a search in all the catalogs. That's it. We founded 162 families, and exactly the tool founded elements that contains parameter name materials, and it begins with metal value. So all those features that I'm showing you right now, you can find those features with all the browsers. So it doesn't matter if you use Smart Browser or Smart Browser Pro. Now, with Smart Browser Pro, you can modify the families. I mean, Smart Browser Pro, it has possibility to go with right-click and to modify the families. So let's select those families. Let's go to Modify Families. Here we have to add modification name. So we are adding the modification name and the person name who is trying to modify those families. If you want, you can add additional short description about modification you're planning to do, or the short notes. And that's it. Here we have the families listed in the separate dialog. Actually, every type will be displayed as a separate row, and here in the columns you will see parameter names. Default names will be like cost, description, manufacturer, and type name. If you're not satisfied with those parameters, you can go to select parameters and you can switch on or switch off parameters you want. In the left side of the tree you will get the list of all parameters that are already used in those families. So you can select parameters, just click OK, and then you will get the situation with those families. So it will be very easy for you to understand what's the situation with the families. If that cell is displayed with a gray color, then you can know that there is no such parameter in such family. If it's displayed with such color, then you can know that this is type parameter value. If it's white, so then it's instance. If it has such yellow color, so then you can know that this is a parameter that has a formula value. And now you can make changes. You can find all those possibilities with the right-click menu. You can change the values, you can copy the values from one column to another, you can rename the families, you can delete the families, you can make changes with the type names, you can add additional parameters, you can modify them, you can even delete them. And let's say if we don't want to have this parameter here, so we can go with right click and we can say that we want to delete such parameter. And it will be automatically showed with the red color, so we added a task to delete such parameter. At the same time, you can make a filter. You can filter the families according to the family name or category, or you can make a filter with right click. You can select the values as here, filter by selected data, and then you will get only filtered families, and you can change the value. So right now, physically, those changes, they are not done yet. We are just adding the tasks, what we would like to do with the families. And here in the show and edit description, you will get very detailed information of what changes you are going to do with the families. Later, we will need to run the process and the tool will change those families physically. Right now, we are just adding the tasks, what we want to do with the families. So as you see here, we decided to delete the parameter, and after 1 minute we decided to change the values for those parameters and for those types. So here every time you can see what tasks you are adding for your families. Let's say if that parameter has to be instance, or where you want to modify such parameter, you can go to modify parameter. And you can say that this parameter should be instance, or if you want you can change the group of that parameter. Then we can add additional shared parameters. We can filter, we can select all those families, go with right click, and here we can add additional shared parameters. Here we have to select shared parameter file, so it's regular file, TXT file with shared parameters. And you have to pick the parameters you want to add for your family. For example, this one will be instance. Again, if you want, you can assign additional groups of parameters, and the tool will create those 3 new shared parameters for every family. At the same time, we will change those values. So with this dialog, it will be very easy to make a standard for your families and to be sure that everything is okay with the families. More, I will add width and height values, width and height parameters. Okay, and as we see, here we can check, because we can see the whole situation, so we can check if the family really width and height values, they really suits the type names. And sometimes if you want to make a standard, it's very, very difficult to make such standards for the families because you have to do that manually one by one. Here you can just make a rule, and here you can just assign parameter type names. Actually, if you want, you can just create new parameter, or you can just rename the type name. But here I want to show new possibility that we added to the new version of Smart Browser Pro, where you can rename types according to configuration. So I can select all those families, go to rename type name by configuration, and here I can add configuration how I would like to create those type names. Let's say it will be the width, then a prefix like space, then a X prefix, and then space and millimeters in the end. So that will be a rule for creating my new type names. Again, that configuration you can save for your future if it's needed. And after pressing OK, the tool will rename those type names according to the width and height values. So as you see, it will be very easy to make a standard for the type names, and you will not need to do that manually one by one. The same with the formulas. Right now, this value was created according to the formula. We can select those, go to change the text formula, and here you can assign your own formula for the text. So after adding those tasks, one more maybe example that I would like to show is if you want to have those two parameters in those families also. So you can select those parameters, press with the right click, and just press on add selected parameters. And the tool will create new parameters for those families, and those parameters will be exactly the same as in those families. So it will be very easy for you to make a standard and like as I said before, to be sure that everything is okay with the families and they have all the same parameters and maybe parameter values. So that's it. We can close the dialog. We will save all that process. We can close this dialog as well. And we can run the process. Actually, before that, if you want, you can come back to your modifications, but right now we can just go to run, save modifications. We have to select modification name that we did before. Right now there is no date here because we didn't run that modification yet. And that's it. After pressing OK, the tool will open every family and the tool will do those modifications for us. So as you see here in this dialog, you see that the tool is saving those and is changing those families because it's making already a backup files also. Okay, so we're finishing with those families. So that's it. There are 8 families modified in the project, and actually we can see that also in our dialog that we already changed those families because here we have the backup files. And when we come back into, or if we open the family, we can see those modifications and we can see those changes. But right now I will open Smart Browser again. Okay, and as you see, the changes that are already here. So we can see that the codes, new shared parameters created. Actually, all new shared parameters will be displayed with the blue color. So you can know that that parameter can be added later into the schedule or into the tag. So it is instant, so it's displayed with a white color, and there are also additional 2 parameters, and the formula was assigned, and also the type name was changed for those families. So we can see that everything is okay with the families, and you can use those families later in your workflow. And you don't need to make synchronization process. Actually, if you are not satisfied with those backup files, you can come back into browser options, and you can synchronize the library with deleting the backup files if it's necessary. So the tool will delete that backup files, and that's it. We don't have them right now at all. One more feature that we have in Smart Browser Pro is that you can find the differences between your current project and the library. Let's say here I have the hotel, and I would like to find differences between the library and between my project. Because if you want to keep updated your families, you have to reload them into the project. We can select the library and just press Start Checking, and the tool will find differences. Right now there is no differences between the current library, but let's say if I will select this one, it's a Revit library with more than 2,000 different families. So after Start Checking, right now the tool is finding the differences between the current project families and the families from the library. And that's it. Here we have the results. There are the differences in 25 families and in 57 types, and with different colors you can see those differences. And we can see that there are new types created or they are renamed. Also there are new shared parameter, and just you can very easily find those differences between the families in the project and the families from the library. And then you can decide what you would like to do. You can override parameter values if it's necessary, and you can reload the families to the project. So right now the tool is loading the latest families into your project and changing the values. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, right now, yeah, maybe some of them should be the values they're not okay. I mean, but this is a regular message that comes from the Revit when you're trying to reload the families. So that's it. There are 25 families reloaded to the project. So now you can be sure that your families are really up to date. One more feature that I would like to show with a Smart Browser or with a regular Smart Browser Pro, I mean with all those versions, there is possibility to see the project family browser. So this is one more browser that shows the families that are already loaded into your current project. So here you can very easily find the families, and with this dialog, it's very easy to make a search. Additionally, if you want to make a search according to the family name and type, and all those families will be grouped together according to their real category. So again, it will be easier for you to find the families, because with regular Revit, all the families are under one component functionality. So here you can see the real categories. But I want to show one more feature that is very good feature. When you want to transfer the families from one project to another, let's say I will open a new project, yeah, maybe I will open a new project like this. So with Project Family Browser, you can see the families from the current project, but at the same time you can switch to the previous project. So now it would be very easy to transfer the families from one project to another. Okay, so it's just very easy way to transfer the families from the previous project to your current project. So let's go back to the slides. So the Smart Browser Pro, the biggest benefits are under those menu where you can modify the families, you can add the tasks to your families, what you would like to do with them, and the tool will do those changes automatically for you. You will not need to make those changes manually one by one. So this is the biggest advantage in the Smart Browser Pro. At the same time, you can find the differences between the families in the library and families in the project. And there are small functionalities where you can receive families to the current Revit version, and you can create shared parameters to the families that are used in your project. So let's try to find out what would be the solution for the companies. We can suggest the power and the simple versions, and here I will try to explain what are the differences between the power and the simple and the pro actually. Let's say if the company has the library that is located somewhere on the network, somewhere in the common location. So here we have power users. The power users, as you see, they can find the families, they can go through the library. At the same time, they can synchronize the library, so they can update the XML file, they can make influences on the library, they can just make their own XML files if necessary. And then we have simple users. So the simple users, they have the same functionality, but they can't use only the company library, and they can't make any influences on the company library. I mean, they can't synchronize the library and they can't change that. And the pro users, they can do all the same things. I mean, they can create the XML files, they can synchronize them, but at the same time, they can modify the families. They can do all the same things like I was showing you today. So let's say that the company X has 100 Revit users in the company. So it's recommended that about 10 users would be power users, about 3 users would be pro users because they will be allowed to change the families, and all others will be just Office Unlimited. I mean, all others will be simple users. And if we look closer into the simple Smart Browser, it allows you to find the families, but it allows you to find and to browse and to use the company library. And as you see here, the browser options, they are limited. The difference between the simple and the power is only in the browser options. In Smart Browser Simple, you can just select the XML file and that's it. And the power user can do all the same things. They can, the same things as I was showing you today. They can create new XML file, they can synchronize the XML file if necessary. I mean, they can have all the same options as the pro user and as the power user. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, you are welcome to add your questions into GoToWebinar questions dialog, and together with Simona we will try to answer them. Also, if you have any feedback or any concerns, you can add them again into the questions dialog.
Yes, so thank you, Renata, for explaining us.
Okay, we got a question from Mr. Patrick. Is there workflow through the Smart Browser to add new families, even as a simple user? No, simple users they can add families to the library, but actually they can't synchronize the XML file. So the XML file has to be synchronized with the Pro user or with the Power users only.